Like and subscribe to our channel, Fabulous Pattaya Media Group, by using the link below. 5 and maybe more passengers were killed as a double-decker bus crashed into an overpass pillar at Saraburi on the motorway. En route for the capital from Roi Et, police believe the driver fell asleep at the wheel. He vehemently denies that and claims that a tyre burst. Forensic teams will soon be able to establish whether that's true, but with many in critical condition, the death toll may sadly rise. Charges are set to be levelled against the executive of a large publicly listed corporation after his Porsche struck a Pakistani motorcyclist, killing him on a Bangkok bridge at the weekend. The 1 o'clock in the morning crash saw the car only able to stop some 150 metres past the mangled bike. The rider was hospitalized but died, and the Porsche driver is said to have received injuries after his head struck his steering wheel. Police report that the driver himself admitted to the police that he'd driven without care, changing lanes at the time of the crash. With blood test results awaited, the 29-year-old is said to be an unlikely flight risk, as he holds a top executive position at the company in which his family have a huge investment. Several private schools and colleges are, according to reports, on the brink of going broke. The 2 years of COVID, followed by the recent dropout of Russian expat children, means that pupil numbers in some schools aren't sufficient to cover the bills. A shortage of maize, not sweet corn, but the type used as cattle feed, is, according to farmers, in short supply. A standard ingredient for cattle food, prices appear to be rising here, which in turn will affect shop prices for consumers. The government has ordered an investigation to establish whether it's being hoarded by suppliers or growers to boost profit. Resorts in the south of Thailand have been welcoming Russian and Ukrainian customers with lower prices to make them more affordable to stranded tourists here. An estimated 3,000 people are reported to be stranded on Phuket and the neighbouring areas. With many looking to move to cheaper accommodation, resorts will soon have extra vacancies, but for the tourists, holidays have turned to an unexpected nightmare, with no access to their money from their home country in any form. Diesel prices in Thailand will remain capped at 30 baht, maximum price at the pump, until at least the end of May. This according to the Energy Ministry, which has agreed to extend subsidies until then, but with the note that by then the 40 billion baht programme will either need a boost or come to an end. Petrol continues to rise as it's not capped, and the cost of LPG is predicted to see a hike too. However, for those on low incomes, the state is mooting the idea of a discount for all who hold state welfare cards to make travel and living affordable for them. Weekend strange news included the sorry tale of a brother shooting and killing his sister after a row about their mother's care, seeing him blame his sister for the mother developing COVID. Charged with murder, the errant son told that he'd long held grudges against his sister, whom he shot 8 times. And a Chonburi family, having carried out funeral rites for their father, will have to do it all over again. This after a mix-up at the hospital saw them told that their father had died, and the body duly supplied, sealed as is standard for COVID, and funeral ready. Once the funeral was completed, it turned out that Dad wasn't actually dead at the time, but an admin error saw 2 patients mismatched to records. With their actual father now dead, they now begin again funeral rites, whilst another family have to make do with the urn of ashes, which was duly handed over. Hospital authorities have undertaken to carry out a full investigation, and no doubt will compensate for the funeral costs at the very least. Their excuse appears to be that COVID has seen their caseload triple. And in Nakhon Ratchasima, a man using a map app to get to his destination found himself, his pickup and 4 passengers in a canal. All were able to get out of the half-sunken vehicle, and the driver told police that as they were on their way home from a family get-together and unfamiliar with the roads, he'd relied on the app, which led him to drive straight into the canal. Meanwhile at home, and this morning Monday, Chonburi Province reports 1,117 new cases of COVID within a 24-hour period. 186 in Chonburi, 490 in Sriracha, 173 in Banglamung and 72 in Satahip. Nationally, the figures were 22,130 in the same period, with a reported 23,508 having recovered and been released from quarantine. And with the Met Office promising highs today of 32, dropping down to 26, and the guarantee of storms at any time, we'll go and do the other bit in a second. Local and national news today from Fabulous 103 FM and Fabulous Pattaya Media Group. And to get a notification every time we release another bulletin or programme,